Job was an Old Testament man who had a great successful life. He had a lot of wealth. He had a large family. And then Satan became very worried about it and wasn't very happy about it. Now, he believed that if Job lost everything he had, he would turn his back on God because his religious beliefs and his faith in God were one of the major things that had helped him become successful. So God took and let Satan attack Job. He lost his health, he lost his wealth, he lost his entire family. Everything he had was gone. Yet throughout all of it, Job didn't turn his back on God. And because of it, because of his faith, everything that he had was restored.
He lost his family and he didn't feel that bad. He still loved the Lord, and the Lord gave him a gift for being so, good and not hating, not
being angry toward those what killed them.
Yeah, what he said.
What do you know about Job, Kate?
He was a very good man, very faithful. He was given a lot of wealth and estates, possessions. He got them taken away because he was trying to try Job's faith, because he thought that if he didn't have anything, then he wouldn't be as faithful to God as if he did.
And then what happened?
He stayed faithful in sickness.
And then what happened? You get it all back?
Yeah, he was given it all back, but twice as much as he had.
My view of Job is that he was a guy that was faithful to God, and he pretty much he had it made. He had all the land and all the healthy kids and beautiful wife and a perfect house. And then all of a sudden God and Satan got together and said, yeah, he might be faithful now because he's got all the things that he wants. But if you take that all away, how faithful is he really going to be? And so God started taking things away and making his family sick and all this stuff. And then finally, in the end, Job was still faithful. So that's.
Just a few months ago, my spirit really was called to get to my mom in Texas very quickly, and during that time she was diagnosed with a very aggressive cancer. God was to bring her home within a month after my arrival. I was her nurse through all of this, and I watched her, and her reaction was just pure grace and acceptance. Mine was not so gracious, and mine was not so accepting. I know my siblings came to help me, and I know they were watching me, and my behavior wasn't always what God would want it to be, but I'm human, and I humbled myself, and I apologized when I spurted, but I was under a lot of pressure nursing her. I felt close to God, but I still felt too much in this world, and but my siblings helped me. And God helped me. God walked with me and held my hand and gave me the words to speak and gave me peace in my heart.
I've been through some difficult times, but with praying to God and strong friendships and my family being so strong, I believe those were the reasons why I've been able to get through those difficult times in my life.
When Julia was born, she was in the hospital for a month, and having 2 other children at home that needed my care was a really difficult thing to try to balance my time. But I think that was the time in my life that I felt closest to God. A lot of people, when they're going through a difficult time, actually pull away from God and feel further away from God because they feel like somehow He's failed them in their lives. But at that time, I really felt strongly that God was there with me and that we were going to get through it, and I just knew that everything was going to be okay.
So have you ever had any friends that were hurt or sick? What about Rose when she had her black eye when she got hurt at school? Yeah? Do you think God's going to take care of her? Probably can.
God take care of Rose.
And make sure that her hurt eye gets better? And what do we do whenever we hear an ambulance or a fire truck? Do we ask God to watch over those people?
God watches over those people.
The time was when my mom passed away 4 years ago. See, I'm gonna cry. This is silly. Okay, so it was really hard because we had a tumultuous relationship, and so her passing was hard because I didn't know how to feel. It was rough. We had to make the decision as to whether to take her off life support or not. And between my brother and I, that was probably one of the hardest things we'll ever have to do. And it took a lot of soul searching and time with God to get right with that. And it's still 4 years later, God is still working to make it right, to make that decision that we made. Okay.
The fall brought evil into the world. And while God doesn't like evil, he tolerates its effects because of our own disobedience.
He gives us a place to go and turn to when bad things do happen. And whether they're accidents or something that we cause ourselves, that's God's role, is to be the rock and the place that we turn to for comfort and guidance in those times.
No. Only if it's meant to be. It's only a test.
Depends on your perception against what is bad and what is good. And what happens, happens. And what is meant to be is what is meant to be.
I don't believe that God causes bad things to happen. I believe that God allows bad things to happen because he gave us free will. And with free will comes sin in the world, and bad things do happen to good people. I believe that other people watch Christians more closely to see their reaction when bad things happen to good people. And it comes to mind when a lady in church, when her husband got cancer, how the two of them reacted to that. That's just one thing. And to watch them and see God's grace pour out of them with peace. And as friends, as Christians, and even non-Christians, I believe that other people watch us to see what we're going to do. It's not that we can fix it, but it's that we can walk with the person. So when bad things are happening to you, it's not to know that you can fix it or that you can do anything but walk through it and just look to God and say, you know, I might be doing all the wrong things, but one thing's for sure, you're with me, and I know you're with me. Sometimes that's what it comes down to.